And I didn't even realize that this company makes lights in the first place. But my goodness, am I glad that they actually do. Also, in today's episode, I'm going to reveal to you how I went about achieving this lighting effect using just this one light. While I talk about this light, I'll be playing some B-roll of a shoot that I set up with a model to kind of test out this light. So just know the light that is being used on the model, the key light is this light from this unknown company. This unknown company for lighting, as far as I'm concerned, is very well known for its rigging equipment when it comes to filmmaking. But lighting, no. And that company is Small Rig. The reason why I think Small Rig got into the business of making LED lights as well is because the technology is more readily available. So more companies are coming to the market with their take on these LED lights. I say that you'll get the best bang for buck when you buy this light because of lights that are comparable in the market. In terms of cost, this one is right up there in terms of being the most cost effective. But that does not go to say that it is a perfect light. There are some problems. There are two downfalls, one of which is quite big for me. Before we get into this video any further, let me just say right off the bat that these are my honest opinions. Small Rig is not paying me to do this review. However, they did send me the light for free to test out, which I have done. And I'm going to present my findings to you guys. This specific unit, the RC220D, has 220 watts of daylight balanced, 5600 Kelvin power with a very high CRI value or very high quality of light of 95. The build quality of this thing is exceptional. It's built like a tank. It's made of really great quality plastic. The handle on the side of the light is super sturdy. So if you get like a sudden burst of adrenaline, you can crank this bad boy as hard as you want pretty much. Unless you really want to cause damage and hurt the thing, then you might hurt it. It also features a bones mount, which is really sturdy as you would expect. Aside from giving you that 220 watts of fluorescent power, it also has an array of effects, which can be controlled from the back of the light with the various dials and buttons. And there's a very nice LCD screen on the back as well, so you can see what you're doing. But also you can control the light wirelessly with a small GoGo app, which is really nice. Now for the biggest pro of this light. Currently at the moment on B&H Photo, you can buy this light for $329. Now when you compare other lights of a similar wattage, you'll find that this light ranks right up there with the most cost-effective lights that there are. So as you can hear, all these pros are pretty standard with this light. It's well made, it gives you 220 watts of power, it has the effects, its build quality is great, but there are downfalls. There are two downfalls, one of which is quite big for me. The first downfall for me is that it uses a 3-pin XLR as its power input. When you bring the Small Rig light onto set, just know that your other lights are probably not going to be using a 3-pin XLR cable. So that's the first downfall. The biggest downfall is the fact that if you are rolling sound, this light is not going to be for you. Straight off the bat, there's no way around it. This fan is loud. It is very, very loud, and the light heats up relatively quickly. In fact, I did a little recording of this fan noise with my cell phone, and I'm playing this to you now. As you can hear, it's quite loud. Just remember, my cell phone was probably 20 centimeters away from the actual lighting unit, so it does sound extraordinarily loud, but it is very loud. The only time I would use this light on set during an interview is if I was using the light as a backlight or a hairlight, kind of like what's happening to me here, just because then you can get the light much further away from your subject and then it shouldn't affect your sound. And now the bonus for this episode, how exactly I achieved this shot with just this one light from Small Rig with no lighting modifiers. So in other words, no softbox, no umbrella light or lantern light, just a hard, strong light with no diffusion whatsoever. You see, when I walked into the studio to do this test with the Small Rig light, as I was walking through the boardroom, I saw one of those fake trees that never get cleaned. And I went up to it, super dusty, and I was like, what would it look like if I shone a light through the leaves and branches of this fake tree onto my model? What sort of effect could we create? This is the effect that we created. So really simple technique, but I think it's really effective and really fun. If you want to achieve a similar sort of effect, you don't necessarily have to use a fake tree. You can use pretty much anything. So just go out there and have fun. Right, so it brings us to the end of this episode. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you, and I'll see you again next time. Cheers.